Good morning. I'm Nishant from Teach for India, and today we'll talk about education. At the end of today's session, I want all of you to leave this room feeling angry. I also want you to feel inspired, and lastly, I hope that you feel committed. These 5 children will not go to school. They will not have the same opportunity as me and you. This must change, and we must be angry to change this. I want you to feel inspired by the hundreds of young men and women who work relentlessly to make educational equity a reality for every child. And I want each one of you here to leave this room feeling so committed that you take a step towards making this dream of educational equity a reality for India. Let us start by looking at the state of education in India. I want all of you to stand up. Now imagine that you represent all the children of India, all 320 million of them. And for a moment imagine you are 2, 3 or 4 years old and you're about to go to school. Now, I would request people in the corner to please sit down. Can you tell me what is the difference between the students sitting down and the students standing in the context of education? Well, these kids represent the 4% who have never had the chance to attend school. These kids will lead their whole lives oblivious to the concept of education. They will have never seen a chalkboard, never used a pen or a pencil to write, or never even have seen a gate to a school. So what this means is that all of you here represent that subset of the Indian children who have at least enrolled in schools. Now, I would request the last row and the row to the second last to please sit down. Now, the people standing up represent the 58% of Indian kids who will drop out, who will not make it past 5th standard. Now, by that I don't mean that each one of them will drop out at 5th. Some of them will drop out at 2nd, some by 3rd, some by 4th, and the really lucky ones will go till 5th. Now imagine your life if you had dropped out at 5th grade. How would it be? I know that my life, my friends, my career options wouldn't be the same. Now I would request everyone to sit down, barring the first row. Now look around the room. These people standing and those people sitting represent the 90% of the Indian children who will never go to college. And God save you if you're a girl from rural India, because only 1% of you will ever make it to college. This makes me angry for 2 reasons. Number 1, it just isn't fair. It's just not fair that your demography should determine your destiny. Second, think of the impact this has on our country. We are only maximizing 10% of the human potential, and this makes me angry. I would request all of you to read out Teach for India's vision after me and for me. One day, all children will attain an excellent education. There are 2 words that I want you to focus on. excellent and education. So by all children, I mean the 320 million children that we discussed earlier. Every single child needs an access to education, and currently 4% of them do not. And every child, regardless of where they are born, deserve this right. Second, excellent. What does an excellent education look like? Now I want you all to close your eyes and think of a slum. Think about Dharavi, Bandra, Kurla, VT, streets behind VT, local slums. To your college, St. Xavier's. Now think of a child in the slum. Think about whether she is in school. What kind of education is she getting? Think about where she will be when she is 15 years old. Has everyone pictured a child? Can you all see a child in your mind? Great. Now let's meet a child. I'm going to make you meet Jyoti. Jyoti is a child from the slum. Jyoti was born at PD Mello Road and brought up there. She lost her father at a very young age and she wasn't going to school. She was very, very behind in all aspects of life. But then she joined Akanksha. I'm also going to make you meet her teacher, Anjali, and let's see where an excellent education has taken Jyoti. Alright, so can I have one or two people share out their thoughts on where an excellent education has taken Jyoti? The education provided by Anjali has taken Jyoti. Okay, thank you. Well, as you've seen in the video, Anjali had a huge stake in putting Jyoti on a different life path. And now, I'm honored and proud to tell you that Jyoti has enrolled in Mumbai St. Xavier's College this year. That is change. We have seen what Anjali could do with Jyoti, and this brings me to the mission of Teach for India. At Teach for India, what we aim to do is to build a movement of leaders just like Anjali, who will eliminate educational inequity in India. Teach for India believes that this staggering challenge will only be solved if the best and the brightest minds come together and become leaders of the next generation who care deeply about solving this problem. I want you to think about which of the highlighted words is the most important according to you. And please show me your hands if you think movement is the most important. Education inequity. Leaders. Okay. Well, actually there is no single important word, but we want you to focus on this word, leaders in particular. Because as I said, Teach for India believes that leaders like you are the only ones who can change India. Leaders from across various sectors supports Teach for India's mission. And I want to introduce you to a leader in our country who supports Teach for India, and I'm sure many of you would be able to recognize him. Okay, he's a great leader. Now let's see some of the leaders who have joined Teach for India. And here they are. We've got Abhijit Bedarkar, a senior programmer with Accenture. Snigdha, who's an English graduate of Lady Shriram College. Kaustubh, after graduating from Symbiosis, has joined Teach for India. Shravanti from Xavier's College. Prasid Sriprakash. Now, how many of us aspire to go to a college like I am? Now, this man left after completing his graduation, decided to join Teach for India instead of taking the huge pay packet that most of his friends or peers did. We have Prachur from IIT Bombay, another of the prestigious institutions. Avantika Thakur, BA LLB graduate from National Law School. Priyanka Mohan, who was a project engineer at Wipro Technologies. Shayan Nandi used to be an assistant manager with Idea Cellular before he took up his class in Mumbai. And Archana Bhatt left her job at Axis Bank to work towards bridging the gap in education. Now I want you to take 45 seconds and look at this slide and see the variety of institutions and organizations that our fellows come from. And we are here today. I am very proud to say that Teach for India has fellows from 382 colleges and 219 corporates. This diversity really propels our work together. Now, I would want you to think about how many fellows have joined us till now. I'll give you a hint. The first number is 1. Any guesses? Alright, I'll give you a second hint. That number is 1 again. Any guesses? Okay? Well, we have at present till now 711 fellows who have joined the movement. That is just amazing. And imagine each fellow is affecting 40 to 60 kids. Just think of the number of kids that we have impacted so far. Now, it's great to be able to do something for the country, but then a country can never grow when you and me, we don't grow. So what is it that you will get out of this fellowship? Now I would like to show you some of the qualities or skills that our fellows have gained through the fellowship, which makes them eligible to join companies and institutions of great repute after the fellowship at Teach for India. And before saying that, I would like to state this and guarantee that this is a single leadership opportunity that will change your life. Setting a vision, investment, planning, executing, continuously increasing effectiveness and reflection. These are just a few skills that every fellow at Teach for India is a master of. I will just give you an example. Our fellows hone their leadership skill of planning in the context of their BTCP, a Be the Change project, by purposefully drafting a business plan to create change in their schools and communities. And this is why we believe that teaching is leadership. Since I've shown you some of the fellows that have joined us, I would like to talk about the fellowship in more details and dive deeper into what our fellows actually do. And thinking of the numerous ways possible to do it, I think the best way is to take you to the journey of one fellow. I want you to meet Srini Swaminathan. As you can see, he has done a lot of things. So Srini was born and brought up in a very similar environment like Jyoti, the kid we met before. But with the help of a few excellent teachers, Srini could put himself on a different life path. And he joined BITS Pilani. After graduating from BITS Pilani, he worked at Schlumberger for 8 years. Schlumberger is an oil rig company, as is seen in the picture. So even after working relentlessly for 8 years at Schlumberger, Srini heard about the fellowship and joined the fellowship to hone his leadership skills. A guy who worked in a reputed oil rig company comes to reach for India to hone his leadership skills. His journey brought him to Dharavi, and he taught second graders in a transit camp school there.